goat or Saint Bernard? Can you tell the difference?
Do you be goat or a fish? Don't sit on the fence.
What kind of question is that for Goat versus Fish? The versus is goat versus fish. We have goat. We have fish. And it's a celebration of goat versus fish. And the one true question is, are you goat or are you fish? But this, goat or Saint Bernard, can you tell the difference? Well, it looks like the goat is near a small lake or pond of the water of fish. Maybe it's a frozen fish lake. Let's reserve judgment of goat versus fish until we've watched the verses. Perhaps it's really a fish. Maybe they're confusing Saint Bernard for a fish, and they're asking goat or fish, and the fish is the Saint Bernard. They would not mean to imply that this goat is a Saint Bernard, as if a Saint Bernard were some actual thing that you could be, other than a goat or a fish, because there is only goat or fish, because there is only goat or fish. Degenerate Dingleberry votes for goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Goat or Saint Bernard? Well, it seems we have a goat. It seems we have a goat. Celebration for goat. So that's the fish. That's the fish in this verses? That's the Saint Bernardus fish? It looks a bit like, what was that verses? What was that old verses? It went,
Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish.
Beethoven has chosen fish. Celebration. Beethoven has chosen fish. I was loading my goat into my car when a man came up to ask about my Saint Bernard. Wait a verses. Is this the Saint Bernard fish, or is this the man that asked you about the goat? It's very unclear to goat versus fish. If you're going to make an Instagram story, if you're going to make a YouTube's reel, at least be clear, what is goat and what is fish? We thought we had the verses. We thought we knew that the Saint Bernard, that this was the fish, but now you are talking about a man? What is a man? What makes a man, Mr. Fishbowski? Is it being prepared versus the goat? No matter the cost. Is this a man? You may say that's a preposterous question, goat versus fish, and it is, because the one true question is, are you goat or are you fish? But is it any more preposterous a question than asking, are you a goat or a Saint Bernard? If you want to bring Saint Bernards into the verses, you might as well bring man into the verses. Are you a man or a Saint Bernard? False question. Are you goat or are you fish? Let's continue to look at the evidence. Is that the man who asked? Who? But you're with the goat? But if that one in red is the man, that would make the goat the Saint Bernard. And if the Saint Bernard was the fish, then the goat is the fish and the man is the goat? We need clarification on goat versus fish. Is this what passes for content? I told him, I don't have a dog, this is a goat. So now this is a goat. So now we have confirmation. This is the goat. Instagram, the reels, they will bombard you with false images. And the images and the texts and the sounds, they are all coming at you so swiftly, so quickly, it is breeding in your mind confusion about the universe, making things all the unclearer. Strange associations are being made into your ponderings about what is a man and what is a dog. That is why you need goat versus fish. You need goat versus fish to tell you the true verses. This is a goat, and this is a fish. Goat versus fish. That's the verses. This is the knowledge of goat versus fish. Subscribe to Goat versus Fish and then delete all applications from your phone. So now this is a goat. Take note of the frozen sea of the fish. This may look like a dry place, but the water does flow here. It may look like a hot place, and yet it's a frozen sea. Truly, the land of the goat and the sea of the fish are such a beautiful, ever-mutating, changing place where goat versus fish does happen. No, he corrected, that's a dog. Who is correcting who? The confusion just continues. That's a dog. No, that's a dog. No, that's a goat. No, that's a fish. He said, quotation, I've been looking all over for a dog like that. Well, maybe you just want a dog who's a fish. Maybe you should just get a fish instead, and then have your fish versus a goat. Or maybe you should get a goat. Maybe you should ask yourself, are you goat or fish? In all of this confusion over St. Bernards and goats, did the one who posted this, Goat Rex, celebration for goat, ever bother to ask the one who is asking, is that a goat or a St. Bernard, asking them, are you goat or are you fish? Who's asking, a goat or a fish? If they're asking, is it a goat or a St. Bernard, they are clearly confused about goat versus fish. They clearly lack perception about the universe. They need goat versus fish. They desperately need the one true verses. Do you know anyone who's confused about life and the universe? Okay. Ask them the one true question. Are you goat or are you fish? None of your questions will be answered. It will just be goat versus fish. But you can answer, are you goat or fish, and choose goat or fish. As a matter of verses, leave a comment and say goat or fish. If she ever has puppies, please give me a call. Maybe this was just anti-goat propaganda. That goat's not a goat. That goat is a St. Bernard that has puppies. And if you're going to tell goat versus fish that this is not a goat, that this is actually a St. Bernard man fish, then goat versus fish will denounce that versus. Confusion over. This is a goat. This is a hard-versing goat, and how dare you call it a St. Bernard man fish? We won't have it. We won't have it on Goat versus Fish. Let your confusion be ended. A goat is a goat, and a fish is a fish. And it was written that it was goat versus fish.